Hello, folks out there. This episode of the podcast is partnered by Audible. Greg, you know what I love about Audible?
What do you love about Audible,
I
John?
don't have to pick up a book anymore and carry it around with me. In fact, I carry it around in my phone, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. They literally keep thousands of titles right on your phone, accessible at any time when you're driving, when you're cooking, when you're mowing the lawn, changing a diaper, doesn't matter. It's all right there at your fingertips, John. They've got podcasts, they've got lectures, they've got some like health and wellness and like fitness series on there that if you just are looking for something to fill that gap, like you're not getting into a book right now, it's all there for you, man.
If you're a member, Greg, what's cool about it is you get 3 titles per month. The first one you can pick whatever you want. Like I've said, I'll probably start hitting up some of those health and wellness books. And then what's awesome is they have 2 Audible exclusives. Exclusives, folks. You can't get it anywhere else.
It's true. That is very true. So if you guys want to get on the Audible train, you can go to audibletrial.com/JATG. That stands for Johnny and the Greg. Hook yourself up with a 30-day free trial. No promises, no nothing. If you don't like it, which I can't imagine you're not going to like it, you can cancel at any time. But the great thing about that is the books you get during your free trial, or if at any time, those books are yours. Like you get to keep them. You can listen to them nonstop, anytime, all the time.
Sounds like a deal to me, man. So if you guys are smart, like I know you guys are, because you already listen to this podcast, sign yourself up, guys. What do you got to lose? It's 30-day free trial, and it's books, it's knowledge. Gotta drink it up.
It is. It is. So one more time, it is audibletrial.com/JATG.
Merch out. I look good.
Yes.
Johnny and the Greg shirt.
Merch is out.
I'm sure one day we're gonna get a website up where people can actually grab that, right?
Yeah. What our designer wants from us is a photo shoot, like where we can get pictures of us on our site wearing our stuff.
You know what just popped in my head? You've seen this on TikTok where the guy's like, smile and put your eyebrows up. No,
Yeah.
don't smile. That's your model face or something like that.
Yeah, we can try that. So to that point, I mean, I know I wrote you about this a while ago, but I've got a friend of mine who's a photographer, and so I need to get you up around this area when it gets some nicer weather, maybe.
Cool. Do we need to make can we pull off the Step Brothers picture?
Yeah, probably.
Where it looks like a class picture. Or no, those family pictures you used to get at like Walmart.
With me standing behind you with my hand on your shoulder,
Yeah.
just so when the head tilts. Yeah, we could probably do something like that.
Pull some off like that.
Or
all right, guys.
Like she said, send me some pictures of you guys. So I went through our social media and just grabbed whatever we had. That's when I text you. I'm like, I need a picture of just you.
You're like, yeah. I was like,
I don't have any of those.
Yeah, I don't. I was shocked when you sent it to me. What shocked me was I sat there and said, I don't have any pictures of me just by myself.
Right.
I'm like, I'm always with somebody in the picture. It's never just me.
Well, I think that's, I would say that that's most people. I think that's a lot of men, and certain generation of women, but now women take pictures. So yeah, everywhere they're curated.
Yeah,
I've got one picture of you from college where we're standing in a computer lab and you've got hair down to almost your shoulders.
Yeah,
when you were doing the play. I'm like, you want to put that one up? She's like, no. All right, never mind.
Yeah. So, hey man, you put on Facebook. Actually, what's coming out soon? And I'm gonna go up there and watch it because I'm actually very excited about it. I didn't think I would be this excited, but I'm excited about it. Is King Kong versus Godzilla? That's coming out mid-March.
End of March.
And you mentioned something. You've mentioned it a couple of times. I can tell it bothers you.
Bother might be a weird word. not quite bothered, but I think the public needs to know, John.
Okay.
I think
So
they need to know and they need to recognize.
I've always thought of it as just a passing conversation. And every time you've brought it up, I've wanted to fight you on it. And I thought, who gives a shit? And I guess
Oh man, here we go.
if Johnny and the Greg, you're going to give a shit today, folks, because here we go. Greg, what does the world need to know?
All right, you go take a look at you go watch Kong Skull Island, which is the overall design of the new King Kong. The King Kong that Monarch is keeping track of. And I'm getting deep into the Godzilla mythos right now. If you're not a fan of these movies at all, just hit next or behind or pick another episode to listen to because you're not going to want to listen to this one.
Yeah.
When you look at Kong and you look when he's fighting the skull crushers, whatever they were.
Yeah.
That is not a giant gorilla.
Okay, so you're talking about Skull Island.
Well, yeah. Like you go back and you look at Peter Jackson's reboot or reimagining, if you will, of the original King Kong with, the one with Jack Black and Colin Hanks and Adrian Brody. And that was a giant silverback gorilla.
Huh?
And that's King Kong. Sure. The King Kong you see in Skull Island and the King Kong that you're going to see in Kong versus Godzilla is a giant Sasquatch. That is not an ape.
Okay. I don't know why you and I both care about this much, but we do. I was telling Ursula today, I said, hey, I think we're going to talk about this today. And she goes, really? I'm like, yeah, because Greg's wrong.
That's not an ape at all.
No, here's the thing, all right? I'm not going to disagree with you that I think Peter Jackson took liberties that maybe he made it an official looking silverback. But if you look at the first original one, it doesn't look like a gorilla to me. It looks like a claymation thing that, it's not as great as Peter Jackson's. If you look at the 1984 one, when the guy was in a suit, it didn't much look like a gorilla. I mean, here's my thing. Instead of it being a Sasquatch, can't it be just some sort of special breed of gorilla?
Sure it can. But if they're saying, is that an ape? And this is what gets me, because even in the original King Kong, I mean, he's doing the knuckle down walk, right? He's walking like a gorilla.
We can't. You know what? That's unfair of me to even bring that up. That they were in a really hard budget back then.
Yeah. Now, but when you go back and you look at the studio, is it Studio Toho that made the Godzilla films over in Japan, where it's like man in suit kind of stuff?
Yes.
I mean, that was more akin to what we're going to see. And I think because that man in suit kind of led itself to having giant kaiju battles.
Okay.
But this Kong that we see, I mean, he's got the face of an ape. He's got the face like when he roars, his lips kind of curl back.
I think he has the beef.
If you're a JJ Watt looking motherfucker, I mean that's how he's built. And he full on does a judo throw in Skull Island. When he's got the chain and he takes the prop, the propeller from that boat, and he tosses it in a thing, turns it up, and he does like that over the shoulder judo throw. I mean, that's so human like that I'm like, that's not a fucking gorilla. That is a Sasquatch.
Well, okay,
if
you're taking this
story tall Bigfoot.
Actually, wait a minute. Okay, hang on a second. Because have you actually seen gorillas actively playing with each other? And that sounds so stupid, but I mean in real life.
Yeah, I've seen.
No. I'm not talking about sitting at the zoo and they're sitting there going like this.
No,
You
like
know,
when
just
they're
hanging-
when they're walking on two legs and like doing the big
no, when
over
they're
to each other.
playing when there's two males playing. Okay, and the only reason I say this is because I actually saw that when I took Gwen to the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, which is a very cool zoo. For those of you, we have a lot of listeners in the Illinois area. Go to that zoo. It's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, it's the first time I saw two things from a gorilla. It's the first time I actually ever heard live
Oh yeah, the
that's
chest pound.
dude, that's amazing because
That's like
it
congos.
echoes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's a hollow it's like
Yeah.
it's solid. It when that happened, Ursula said, "What the hell was that?" I said, "That's the gorilla hitting his chest." Like I said, that was cool. I watched the whole thing. It was amazing. But then it had to be maybe like 5 males in that area, and they were wrestling, and they were flipping each other over. They were grabbing arms and flipping over. So I don't know if that's exactly bullshit or not. But the fact that we're talking about an 80-foot gorilla fighting monsters is bullshit anyway. But I get where you're going, but I've never seen Sasquatch. I've seen a different breed of gorilla. And from what I think they're going to go into this movie, that it's an ancient breed, just like Godzilla is an ancient breed. And these are the last two of that ancient breed. So maybe maybe these two. Well,
I mean,
how
he's using tools. I mean, and
wait a minute.
monkeys use
That was
tools,
my
too.
rebuttal with the tool thing. The tool thing. They actually show now that this has been on Joe Rogan's podcast, that the people that are studying monkeys now are actually entering that Stone Age. They're actually they're using tools now,
Cool.
not back then. But they are actually using it now. There's a real good picture of a orangutan spearfishing. So they're right now, they are in that evolutionary stage of where they're actually starting to use tools. So that's kind of cool. They used tools when we were kids. When they dip that reed into the termite, bring out, that's a tool. So
Yes.
it's not a battle axe.
It's not a battle axe that has some kind of weird jewel in the middle, maybe?
No, I think it's one of the scales of a deceased Godzilla. Okay, if we look at Godzilla as a breed this is a certain type of lizard, and the Kongs are a certain type of gorilla. And I think the thing that he's holding, because you know how you have these people that break down the trailer, right, and they zoom in on
frame
certain
by
parts.
frame.
Yeah, and it looks like a scale from one of Godzilla's backs. So they not only did they use tools, and this breed has made the tool. Is that taking it away from you that they seem more intelligent?
No, not really. I mean, it's just as I'm watching the film and the army's flying in on the helicopter. Is that a big monkey? No, it's not a monkey. It's the Sasquatch.
This is funny to me because
You have found Bigfoot, and it's the biggest foot you've ever seen.
You are. We've had some things that I've been hung up on, Greg.
I don't. I know this is a pointless conversation.
This is totally pointless, but it's great because I haven't seen you so passionate about a pointless conversation. Because it is pointless and it's hilarious. And like, I'm not going to hang up when I'm done with you today going, God damn it, he didn't believe it was a gorilla. I don't care. But it's funny how you mentioned it 3 times offline with me. And then
I didn't know I've done it
on
3
Facebook.
times. Yeah, I posted
it today on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, it's on, Greg. We need to talk about this. You need to get this off your chest.
It's weird. I mean, that movie's been out, 2 years, 3 years?
What?
Something
Which
like
one?
That? Skull Island.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It is a different looking gorilla, though.
My 16-year-old is watching that movie probably once or twice a week for the past couple of weeks. Like, I'm like, why are you watching Skull Island? Like, the first time she's like, I said, what, you're going to watch Skull Island? She's like, yeah, I just thought I'd check it out,
Yeah.
And then the other day she put it on again. And that's when I posted about it. And I was like, we're watching Skull Island again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we watching it again? Didn't you just watch it? She's like, oh, I kind of like it. It's not bad. I'm like, is it the Tom Hiddleston thing? Are you like getting into Tom? Well, she's like, it helps. So she was.
Is this your oldest one?
Yeah. I think she's
Really
a little bit of a
Okay.
thing for Tom Hiddleston, although she's totally shocked that he's in his 40s, and that he's around my age. She's like, oh man. So
Oh, that's Eternal. That's funny.
yeah, that is funny and hilarious.
That is funny.
But so she's been digesting that. I'm like, do you want to see the next one? She's like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well,
I don't know if I
Johnny's
said
coming up.
this. Yeah, I don't know if I said this before on the podcast, but I watched King of Monsters, Godzilla, and I was blown away by how much I was actually into it. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't into the first Godzilla, the one with Walter White. What's his name? I gotta quit doing it because eventually he's my all-time guy I want on this podcast, and I gotta quit calling him Walter White. What's his damn name? Oh, he's one of my favorite actors. Anytime he's in anything, I give it a shot. I give it a chance. Like I watch it. God, what's his name?
You're gonna go back and watch the Power Rangers
I actually did watch that.
just to hear his voice. Just to hear his voice.
My favorite all time is when he's Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
The transition from Hal to Walter White's amazing. Anyway, he's in
It's
a good
acting. It's Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston. He's in a new show called Your Honor. That's very good.
What's that on?
That's on HBO. No, it's not on HBO. It is on HBO, but you can get it through Hulu if you have.
It's on HBO. HBO.
It's on Showtime. I apologize. It's on Showtime.
Yeah, that's why I don't have that.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was going back to Cranston. I didn't like that Godzilla. Him and Aaron Johnson. I think Aaron Johnson's
Aaron Johnson,
dude from Kick-Ass. Yeah,
And
the original Quicksilver.
And Brie Larson when they're married.
Is Brie Larson in Godzilla?
Isn't that his wife? Doesn't she play his wife?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I thought it was Brie Larson because Avengers had already, Age of Ultron had come out already, and everybody was now seeing them as married, and they're like, I don't buy it that they're married because they were just brother and sister in another film.
Wait, Brie Larson and Aaron Johnson were brother and sister?
No, not Brie Larson. Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Because
you know what? I'm starting to get a crush on her.
It was it's Wanda and Pietro. Yeah.
I'm starting to get a crush on.
Yeah, I've always liked her.
It blew me away. I actually found out, I think a year and a half ago, that she's one of the Olsen. She's not one of the Olsen twins. Those are her sisters.
Yeah, those are her older sisters.
And immediately,
really?
Immediately when I knew that, I went, "Oh yeah, they totally look alike." Of course.
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway.
I guess I've always known that. But
well, you live on IMDb, so that doesn't surprise me.
I used literally, there was a time in my life I checked this every day.
Yeah, I know.
I checked it every day to see whose birthday it was. And I don't know why I cared. But I was just, it was part of everybody's got a routine where they log on for the first time, they check their email, maybe they check their social media. Who shares yours? What's that?
Shares your birthday?
Oh, the one that I know off the top of my head is Katie Sackhoff, because it's the same. She's also born the
she's
same.
Hot in a weird way.
Not in a weird way.
I think she's hot in a weird way.
She's okay. You can think it's weird. I think she's not my normal type of girl that I would find that attractive, but I find her attractive.
She's blocky. Am I thinking of the right girl?
She played Starbuck on Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
And she's in Longmire.
She's super
super athletic. Yes.
If you told me, hey, she once played linebacker for her high school team, I wouldn't say bullshit. I would be like, okay.
She's got some sharp angles. I mean, I think that's when you're thinking of, in a weird way. There's not a an overwhelming sense of softness to her.
Yes. I still find her. I think she's incredibly hot, but
yeah. Did you ever watch that Netflix series she was in that I told you to watch, where she's a captain on a spaceship? And I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head,
No.
but it's really good. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at Elizabeth Olsen, like the other things that I've seen her in that are not Marvel related.
I never saw her in anything else.
Huh.
You can't find anything else.
Well, no, because now I'm looking at
now
the
it's all-
list, and I'm like, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Ingrid Goes West, I think I saw, but I totally forgot she was in that.
Does Who Shares My Birthday? Do you know offhand?
No.
Probably.
She was in Old Boy. I remember that, but that remake, because that's a remake of
With Josh Brolin, right? That one.
Yeah. And she plays she plays the female lead.
Oh
actually.
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah, if people don't know why I'm saying oh no, I'm not going to ruin the movie for you, but it's an oh no.
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh no.
It's definitely that.
Yeah.
Old Boy's based on a Korean film, and I believe it's a Korean film.
Greg, time out. Before you finish that, I remember the first time you sent me down and explained this movie to me when I was in college, and I thought, what kind of freaking weird stuff are you watching,
shit
kid?
are you watching? Yeah. But I mean, it's got some really awesome scenes in it.
The hallway fight.
The hallway fight.
Yeah.
The actor who eats a live octopus on camera, like just his face just totally framed up as he grabs a handful of live octopus and just puts his mouth, starts to it. Yeah. It's kind of that same vibe actually. But yeah, that's you got to understand that cultures are different.
Yeah.
It's taboo in every culture, but what we commit to film and story is very different.
Yes.
So, but like an American wouldn't have made that film.
No, there's no appetite for that around here.
Yeah. What's your birthday again? January what?
January 25th.
I have to look it up.
It is. I think Oprah Winfrey actually shares it.
Oh, let's see. Some 19-year-old you've never heard of. Gosh, a lot of people I've never heard of.
I could have been the first.
Who the hell? These are all like YouTube stars. I have no idea these people.
Oh God, don't even act YouTube stars.
This is a little. Are they going up in age? I think so. No, maybe not. Oh, this is.
It'll be like Mel Brooks or something.
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys. Okay.
Yep. That's one we know.
That girl is on fire.
Alicia Keys. Christy Locken. I know I've heard that name. Jennifer Lewis.
Oh, Jennifer Lewis. She was kind of a weird one when she was younger, wasn't she?
Maybe.
When is she in Cape Fear? Wasn't she the daughter of Nick Nolte in Cape Fear?
Oh, that sounds right.
Right? And she was in what's that one with Woody Harrelson where he's a serial killer? Oliver Stone did the picture.
Natural Born Killers?
Yes. Wasn't he his girlfriend?
I don't remember.
No, I'm thinking of Juliette Lewis. Is that who
you're thinking of? Juliette? No, it's not.
Jennifer Lewis?
Jennifer Lewis.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. I'm sorry.
Chelsea Handler, Rashida Jones, Ric Flair.
Woo!
Sean Astin, Téa Leoni. God, I had such a thing for Téa Leoni.
Who's Téa Leoni?
Bad Boys 1.
Oh, really? You liked her? That was a thing?
I liked her a lot. You
know who I liked? I'm ashamed to admit it now. Actually, I'm not ashamed to admit shit now. When I was, I don't know I don't know any other movie she was in, but I've seen her in tons of other movies. but she had like a small little window, and she was in Bride of Chucky.
Jennifer Tilly?
Yes.
Oh, everybody. Yeah. I don't think any red-blooded American male didn't have a thing for Jennifer Tilly. Straight American male.
I also like
gay guys like tits too. So
Tia Carrera,
Tia
the girl in
Carrera.
Wayne's World.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For a
Well,
while,
you-
I was really
Share a
into-
birthday with Jeff Johns, who was a producer at.
I've heard he's not cool.
I've heard he's very not cool, but you
Yeah.
share a birthday with him.
That's great.
Yeah, this is a better site to look at.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
yeah. Tia Carrera, she kind of fell off the radar.
yeah, she was doing. There was this time in the late, I think it's the late '90s, when it was right around Kevin Sorbo, like that Hercules television series kicked off, and she did something like Relic Hunter or something like that.
I was gonna say I want to say it was a treasure hunter, but it was Relic Hunter, and it was capitalizing
Based off of
on
Laurel Croft, right?
Yeah, very much kind of trying to get the Tomb Raider vibe to it.
Speaking of Tomb Raider, did you ever watch the latest one?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I liked it. I think it was a good reboot instead of the Angelina Jolie plastic reboot that they did, where it was just all about her. How many wide shots can we get of her looking hot?
Yeah,
or like crawling out of a pool,
taking a shower without showing anything.
Yeah, but even still, if they would have showed something, it still would have been a terrible movie.
Oh, do you remember the first one when she was Laura Croft and she's doing one of those slow motion runs and her boobs are going up and down, right? I forgot what girl I was. Oh, I was with. I think it was Jenny Millard. We were watching it, and Jenny said, "Oh, she's gonna ruin her fibers." And I went, "What?" She's gonna ruin her fibers. By the time she's 50, they're gonna be sagging. Every time I see a girl run now, I'm like, "Oh, she's gonna ruin her fibers." So thank you, Jenny, for that one.
Oh man,
yeah,
that is funny.
Yeah,
and totally true.
She's ruined it for me.
Yeah. I never got into those films.
Oh, neither did I.
Yeah, they were
when I think it was Crystal Dynamics. I think it was them. It's when they got control of Lara Croft and they rebooted it, which this last movie was based off of the video game. That was a really cool game.
It was a great game. I actually played.
Yes.
I played 2 of them that they did with kind of the, more survivalist type of Lara Croft instead of the, mythical Tomb Raider kind of thing that
she was already Batman.
Yeah, and what I liked about it is that even with the reboot, I mean, they made her attractive, but it was at least kind of realistic. I mean, and
I agree with
you. It wasn't a cartoon. They were really trying to make a survival, and not a horror game, but just a survival game.
Yeah, and a big part of what I like about treasure hunting movies is if you have a good treasure to go after, and it makes sense and it's cool. Like the idea of I think she was the thing was a goddess or whatever the treasure was. It's Hamoko or the goddess or something. But like when Uncharted, and that's coming out with Tom Holland, so your oldest should be very happy with that.
Extremely.
The first Uncharted game was like, I think somebody told me it's like Die Hard on an island. And I thought, oh yeah, it is kind of like Die Hard on an island.
You thought, I think that's a terrible description.
You think so?
I do.
Because Nathan Drake isn't Indiana Jones. He's not formally educated. He's from the school of hard knocks. So he's just rolling with the punches. He's on an island by himself, surrounded by terrorists or guys
which
trying
makes
to get
him not by himself. But okay,
right. Shut up, Greg. Go back to your Sasquatch theories. But anyway,
I think.
Digressing. Go ahead.
In terms of the Uncharted games, the first one was good. It set up a nice, it set up the character Nathan
Right.
Drake, and
Right.
he's a great character, and his supporting cast is good as well.
Yeah.
It's got that Tomb Raider type feel, and that you're exploring, shooting bad guys, doing stuff, puzzle solving, things like that. And then it takes a little bit of like this supernatural twist.
At the end.
I'd say midway to 2/3 through.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
When you figure out what the treasure really is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so it gets this kind of touch of the supernatural in the
What would you
storyline.
think of the second one?
I think it was a direct copy of the first one. And I thought the third one was also a copy.
I
The
thought the
whole
second one was excellent.
well, and again, they're not bad games, but I played all three of them. Like I got them in a pack, and I played all
Well,
three.
the third one was good too with the plane, right? Crashing in the desert.
Again, the overall story is treasure hunting until about halfway to 2/3 through the game. You discover some supernatural twist, and then you have to survive that as well.
What's it like not being happy, Greg? Because you seem very unhappy.
It's hard, John. It's a hard life.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
I just wanted more. I wanted more.
I want more.
Again, I mean, and Tomb Raider was the same way when those games came out.
But aren't we getting that same way with Superman and Batman now?
Yeah, like they got to get more creative. They gotta get more creative, or
That's why we have an emo Batman now. It's because people are trying to get creative with
well,
it.
no, I think that's why we have a year one Batman. That's why we have a Batman that's in his early career, and not doesn't seem to have the gadgets because Batman Begins was supposed to be that story, but he still had Lucius Fox creating like super gadgets for him.
Yeah, right away.
And I think from what I can tell, in the Batman with Robert Pattinson, we're not getting that. We're getting a very unrefined Batman.
Which I'm cool with.
Oh, I think I'm
Yeah.
cool with it. I want to see it. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, you were
what's-
talking about Uncharted. Sorry.
Well, and now we're just talking about creativity in terms of
Yeah.
storytelling. But yeah, I mean, by the third game when they were doing that, I'm like, guys, switch it up, do something different. I mean, tell a different story, other than just another treasure, another supernatural twist.
I see what you're saying. But I don't know. I guess you know what? I guess you could throw this back at me. That was my problem with the last 3 Star Wars.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
the exact same story, just different characters, and instead of a Luke Skywalker, it was a girl. Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying now. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I heard Tom Holland auditioned for the role of Finn and didn't get it because he couldn't
Yes.
stop laughing at some point. Like like during his audition,
He just kept laughing.
that's what it was. Because auditions, like you're just in a room, you're
Yeah.
sitting on some uncomfortable metal chair while a table of people throw lines at you and you read your lines back in actor form. Whoever the person was reading making the droid noises, so it must have been like he was talking to BB-8,
Yeah.
and somebody was making droid noises and he couldn't keep his shit together. So I don't know if she was like beep beep boop boop beep beep boop, and he was just like couldn't do it. And
You said beep beep boop boop beep beep.
yeah, he got through the
Yeah.
best he could, walked out of there. He's like, I'm not getting that role.
I really like Tom Holland. I think he's the best Spider-Man. I know there's some people that are like, "Oh, it's all about Toby," but I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, I
Now,
like
this
both.
isn't-
I think
isn't- Go ahead.
I like Tom better. I think he's a better actor
Yeah.
in this role as Toby.
Yes.
but I mean, this is his last. Like, uh, no,
Yeah.
no way
No
home.
Way Home. No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home is like
I
his
actually
last
guessed that.
contract.
Actually, that's false. I guessed Can't Go Home.
Okay,
That's what I was guessing because I know he's on the run. So I thought, oh, Can't Go Home.
which is why I was hoping it was Homeward Bound, but I knew they weren't going to do that.
Um, he what I like about him is he says I'm done with this contract, but he goes, I'll be in 10 more if you guys want me to.
Yeah.
I'm here. And that's what I really liked. I've heard that about Chris Hemsworth too. He's like, dude, don't kill Thor off. I want to do this forever. Like he's like, I love Thor. So I don't know if he loves shape like Thor, but
I
actually,
think he
I
seems
think
like
he actually does.
I
Yeah,
think
it seems like he's opened up. He has a whole little app off it now. So,
But I rewatched Thor, the first one,
Yeah.
last week, and it's
Bad,
just
isn't
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
definitely
it's
not
not that good. It's not that good.
definitely not great.
Yeah.
But when because I started watching the Marvel films. If you go on Disney Plus, they have them in chronological order,
Right.
like in the order that they happen in the MCU. It's like, and I had a lot of like data entry kind of work to do, which I can
So you
listen
just put
to
on
stuff.
the background. Yeah.
Yeah, I just put on the background. But they like, they dyed his eyebrows
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
It was. I mean, his hair, like his beard, everything looks almost orange in
Right.
that film. But he looks. I mean, because he was like, he looks 20 years younger in that film
Yes.
than he
Yes.
does now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, shoot, the author that we had on, your buddy.
Oh, my buddy, Matthew Riley.
Matthew Riley. Yeah. Just like what Matthew Riley brought up, actors are going to age. They're going to age out of their roles.
Yes.
Because you don't want 60-year-old Thor.
No. Well, he could be old King Thor.
He could.
Throw up enough armor on him, make him look.
Well, they did that with Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, make him
you,
look tough.
You look when he's banishing Thor.
Yes.
His shoulder pads in that armor were
Right.
ginormous.
Yes.
You're like, he's got a lot of room in there.
Yes. I wonder if they're going to do this because with Thor, God and Thunder, I wonder if they're going to ride space sharks.
Oh, Love and Thunder?
Yeah,
Space
Love and Thunder.
Sharks. Why would you bring up space sharks?
Because that was in the title of, or that was in the Gore the God Butcher. He's riding. Old
space
King
shark?
Thor is riding the space sharks.
Huh.
Not only that, they actually show somebody caught it off scene. They actually have Tooth Gnasher in it.
Oh, that I hope so. Because Tooth Gnasher is a fun character.
Yeah, they have Tooth Gnasher, and I forgot the other one, what the other one's called. But
The dog?
no, they're
Thor?
both goats. No, they're both
goats.
goats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they bring his dog, Thori.
Thori, yeah.
Thor.
Thori. I thought Thori wasn't Thori's originally Thanos' dog or something like that.
I have no idea. Because I didn't read the Gore the God Butcher series.
Yeah.
But Thori.
If Thori. Thori talks.
Thori talks and he's a giant murder hound.
Yes.
Yeah. All he was like, do I kill them now?
Yes. Because I think Taika Waititi, if I said that right, he's just crazy enough to make that all work.
He could. Yeah.
Because
the way he did
Ragnarok
with Mord.
Yeah. It was funny. I was telling Ursula today because we were because now all my daughter does is watch Ragnarok. She was like, "Wow, he's really good in this one," and I said, "Yeah, he was going to retire from being Thor. He didn't want to do it anymore." And Tycho said, because he was getting bored with the character. He was like, "You're making me speak Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I'm always serious. I'm not even having fun. I get one joke a movie, And I guess he had a meeting with Tycho, and Tycho says, "Look, man, I want you to be like however you think Thor should be in these moments. Let's play with it, see what happens." And so he ended up loving it. He said, "I think he says as long as that guy's around, I'll be Thor or something like that."
I think we're saying his name wrong.
Are we?
I think Watiti is right.
It's not Taiko.
Taika. Taika? Taika. Taika Watiti.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Taika because I know it's not Tyco like the toy company.
That's Taco.
No, there was a Tyco.
Oh, there was. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Welcome to Random Show with Johnny and the Greg.
Yeah.
We started out talking about Kong.
We did. I'm looking forward to it though. I think King Kong's going to be a lot of fun. Kong versus Godzilla.
There are so many movies coming out that I am stupidly excited for.
What are some other?
Mortal Kombat? Did you see the trailer for Mortal Kombat?
I thought you didn't like it. You liked it?
The Mortal Kombat trailer?
Yeah.
No, I'll watch
I thought you
that.
posted something on our site saying like, this should be stupid. Or something like that.
Oh, I think it's going to be a terrible film.
But you're excited? You're excited for it?
Absolutely. That is, I think it's going to be a film that highbrow cinema people are going to go, what is this? Somebody spent millions of dollars on this. And the rest of us are going to be like, yeah, it's dumb, but it was cool.
Hey, speaking of that, and like, guys, we're recording 2 episodes in one sitting, so I'm about 2 weeks behind. Or when you're hearing this, you're about 2 weeks behind. But the Golden Globes is on tonight.
Yeah.
Did you hear some of the like people that are up for awards? In any other regular year, you'd be like, no.
No,
they have like nobody to really give awards out to.
Who do you nominate? I mean,
yeah, something was up for like best picture or best actor, and you're like, that's Ursula told me that, and I was like, oh, that's because they got nothing.
Well, nothing came out. I mean,
right.
Soul
came out.
I did read like
Tenet.
A lot of the
Golden Globes here.
A lot of the films, what they're talking about, they're like, Netflix has the most nominations ever. Yeah, because they were the only ones putting out content.
Yes.
I mean,
all right. Best picture was No Man Land, The Father, Mank, Promising Young Woman, Trial of the Chicago 7. Like, I haven't heard of any of those.
Promising Young Woman, I'd like to see.
Oh, this is the best picture of a musical or a comedy was Borat. The new one.
Ooh.
That was a horrible movie. I don't know if you watched it.
No, because I'm not into that kind of comedy.
Yeah.
I don't want to see.
It beat out Hamilton.
That seems wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a comedian trash other people and laugh at that, I guess. And I mean, if you're a celebrity,
what are you talking about? Trash? What are you talking about?
Well, like just that style of comedy, the guerrilla, gotcha kind of comedy.
Look, I think that was funny and it was groundbreaking. It was something. It wasn't groundbreaking. It felt groundbreaking. It was something new that we were all like, what? And it was awesome. This one, it was like, I have nothing else to do. I'm not as like, I think he lost out the role of Freddie Mercury.
He did. Yeah.
Okay. And I think he did it because he was taking it to a completely different level or something like that. And they were like, okay, dude, like, this isn't what we want.
Well, and he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, like, he's really good.
He is really good. And very funny in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Like I saw him on a talk show, I think. Probably Graham Norton, I think is what it was. And he was hilarious. Just as himself was hilarious.
Yeah.
But he does like these heavy makeup character kind of things, and I'm like, he did the brothers Grimsby, I think it was called.
Okay.
Where his twin brother is from the Kingsman, the bald guy. Usually playing a villain.
Oh, yes. Mark Strong.
Thank you very much. And again, another phenomenal actor.
Great Alfred.
Yeah, he would. That'd be awesome. but again, he's playing like this guy. This Mark Strong's like a super spy, and they were like brothers separated at birth, kind of thing.
Yes, I remember.
And
this
he
now.
plays like the idiot brother.
Yes.
And you're going, why are you doing this? Like,
but see, it's funny you said that because I agree with you 1,000%. I think he's fallen into this niche where, like, this is who he is, and instead of expanding himself like a Jim Carrey, a Robin Williams, and only like taking out or even what's his name, 40-year-old virgin guy, Michael Scott, what's his name?
I'm having one of those nights, John.
Yeah. Okay. What the hell's his name? The 40-year-old virgin, Michael Scott.
Yep.
Anyway, he took on these small little roles, like I think it was Mrs. Sunshine, and he did these small little movies where he would play these characters, and he didn't have to be the star, but he would play like a supporting actor, and he would get these he'd play these serious roles, and he'd build himself up.
Right.
That guy could do that. I agree with you. And I feel like he thinks the only hits he can get is when he acts like an idiot. Yes, thank you, Steve Carell. The only way he can do this is if he falls into this natch of like becoming an idiot.
Yeah. And he actually did a spy thriller piece for Netflix. It was great.
Good.
It was great. Yeah.
Wow.
And you're going, if you can do that. I mean, and I understand when he was in Sweeney Todd, because that was a Tim Burton movie. Did you
watch that whole thing?
I love that movie.
Oh my God, Greg.
That is a great movie.
Oh no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's fucking not.
You've got to. It is.
I gotta tough that out? No.
Well, if you're not into that musical, and especially if you're not into that kind,
because I'm into. Actually, I didn't like Hamilton.
You don't like musicals?
No, I do. I liked Wicked. I liked Wicked.
Okay.
I liked Was Wicked a musical actually? I can't remember. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember what it was. I can't remember one damn song in there. Can't remember one damn song.
Gravity, where she hits the high note. Defying Gravity. Popular.
Oh no, I know.
Holy shit!
Yeah, there we go. Okay, all right. So I liked that. I liked Wicked. I liked the Greatest Showman. That was really good.
Oh yeah,
that was very good. So I like musicals. God, Sweeney Todd was so fucking boring.
See, that's the type of music. Like I'm betting you didn't like Into the Woods either. And actually, I didn't either. But
I didn't see Into the Woods.
Well, yeah, and again, because I'm having one of those nights where I can't remember anybody's fucking name. The guy that wrote those musicals has a certain style that he does his music in, and when he wrote Sweeney Todd
it's a popular play.
Was made popular by Angela Lansbury in her youth.
Why, she was Sweeney Todd?
She was Mrs. Lovett.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So,
but okay.
She was the Helena Carter baking the pies.
Oh, okay.
Again, Angela Lansbury. So to give you an idea of how old that musical is. Yeah. I liked it. I liked seeing Johnny Depp do his own singing. That was and Alan Rickman being gross, but it's Alan Rickman. So I liked it. I liked everybody in it. But the point I was trying to make was, again, the guy that plays Borat,
Sacha Baron Cohen.
He was great in that film, like playing the competitive barber, and having that very specific style. Yeah, I just think he's capable of a lot more.
Yeah, I don't know how that won best comedy or best musical or / comedy. Yeah. But that was the one where Ursula told me he won. I was like, oh, well, there was nothing to pick.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm so sick of award shows. Like,
oh yeah. I've stopped watching those. The only reason it was interesting to me today was because I thought, who are the nominees? Like for some reason I could only think of maybe like 6 movies that came out.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, and I couldn't think of any other, and I was like, they're like, like, I can't believe they're gonna do this. Like, it didn't make
Mhm.
sense to me, but whatever.
The only thing I wanted to tune in for, or even had the slightest want, was to see Amy Poehler, and her
Yeah, and
yeah
her and Tina Fey.
to
They
yeah
were
to
both.
see to see their hosting duties and monologues. But the wonders of the internet, John, is that I can see all of that online tomorrow and not have to sit through the whole damn thing.
Weren't we just talking about that a couple podcasts ago?
I think so. Yeah.
That
Like
we're
there's
we're growing up on highlights now.
yeah.
We don't have
Yeah.
to watch a full game. We don't have
Yeah.
to watch a
The
full.
the Sports Center effect. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to watch an action movie anymore. You just have to watch the action scenes from on YouTube.
And to a point that's sad, I think, if you're going for a story, or if you're
Yeah.
looking at something that you want to uh look at from front to back or get the whole picture. The Golden Globes, I don't need that.
Oh, of
That's
course not. No,
not at all.
no.
And
I stopped watching award shows when I don't know why I didn't realize it, but all of a sudden I just realized these are about a bunch of guys blowing each other. That's
yeah.
what this is about.
Yeah. I mean, and there's been I think they're manufacturing some of these flubs now when like we announced the wrong winner that happened for Best Picture a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And they're like,
Moonlight.
nope. Yeah, they're like, no, sorry, wasn't
Yeah.
you. I think all of that is manufactured for press.
Publicity. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think people don't give a shit anymore.
No, they don't.
I don't think they care that much anymore. I
I
can't
used to
remember the
have
last time I
Oscar
watched
parties.
a trailer that had Oscar winner
Yeah,
behind the name.
I used to.
You just reminded me. I don't think anybody gives a shit about that anymore, Greg. I don't think anybody cares.
No, the actors care,
Of course.
because it's their award that they're giving to each other. But yeah, I mean, I somewhat pay attention to the People's Choice Awards because that's
Voted by the people.
that's voted by the people. I don't watch it.
No, me neither.
Same thing with the MTV Movie Awards when that was a thing. It's still a thing. I kind of pay half of attention to that, but again, I can just figure out who won on the internet.
That's true. The internet ruins it for all. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, hey, I want to talk to you real quick, and we'll end it with this one. You sent me a TikTok about that guy on Joe Rogan. He's a power lifter, actually, saying he's saying that
you don't have to.
He doesn't believe you should deadlift. He says nobody should be doing deadlifts. And then what he said, and I thought about it at a grocery store the other day. I thought about it because my first reaction to that was, that's a horrible advice. That's really stupid. You need to deadlift. You need to do that. And then I realized, and so when I ask myself this question, I keep thinking about it. I'm like, what am I not looking at? Like, am I just is what has been beaten into me, is that overriding common sense? Where was he coming from? And I think you and I both understood he was coming from the thing of, if we're going for like 400 or 400 plus,
right,
there's probably really no real reason for you to do that unless you're in a competition or you're trying to be the world's strongest man.
Yeah, or you're a firefighter who has to, on the run, pick up a 250-pound man and carry him down a flight of stairs.
Right. He said if you go into any training facility like NFL, they're all doing power cleans and what he forgot to mention in that power clean is you start from the deadlift position and deadlift it up,
right,
before you power clean it. Like, that's what happens. Right. And so again, I think he was talking from a competition. Unless you're not competing for the deadlift, he's saying don't do the deadlift. I'm thinking I think that was his point. I don't believe him. I think everybody should be able to do that, because I think that's one of the main things that put people deadlifting, squats, and burpees. If you can't do those in your 70s or 80s, you're probably going to end up in a nursing home. faster than most people. Because if you can't do a burpee, you can't get up if you fall down. Now, if you fall down and break your hip, yes, you're not going to be able to jump up and do a burpee. But what I'm saying is a lot of times people go into nursing homes because they physically don't have the strength to get up off a toilet and they need help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where squatting comes in. Deadlifting. Believe me, guys, because I've been there where I've actually had to lift a 30-pound box and my back almost just completely gave out at me. And that's a scary thing. I know you've had that.
Yes.
And it's a really scary thing. And it makes you feel like you're useless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real scary thing. So I think if you train yourself to properly lift the correct way, that is something throughout your lifetime that will just help. And I think there's a study out there where if you squat heavy weight, it actually creates bone density. Like your bones get thicker. So it's important. And a lot of people will tell you don't squat, it's bad for your knees. It's only bad for your knees if you're squatting incorrectly. That's it. So,
And I remember when I sent that to you and the text chain back and forth, and it made more sense. But I was thinking back to a young Greg, in his high school weight room,
who wasn't educated enough in that.
Not educated at all. I mean, we were taught the basics of form, but that was about it. Like, and it was.
It's actually a shame.
And I think they've gotten a lot better. I really do.
I hope so.
I think high school sports have gotten better because when you look at, I remember when I was teaching, there were numerous kids that were, early in my career when I was teaching, there were numerous kids that were benching super heavy weight, like 300 plus.
Yeah.
And we were lucky where I was, anyway, in our kind of small town school, where if you were getting 225 to 250, I mean, was getting your name. They had lifting boards where if you hit certain weights, then you got your name on the board.
Yeah.
And I remember like 400-pound deadlift was a big deal for that board. And there was like there's a 200 squat, 250 squat. And you would tell, like, as kids went up in weight as they got older, because so like a lot of the 200 squats were all full of freshmen, and then the big squats were all full of seniors.
Yeah, I think that's just each generation getting better. I mean, like, I remember hearing, or if you go back and you look at the 1940s or 50s, even the 60s, you look back at what an average NFL offensive lineman was. He was like 230.
Yeah.
And now they're like 330.
Right.
You know.
But I remember when I did my 400-pound deadlift, and we had one of those diamond bars. So I think it was so the form was even still a little different than just a straight bar.
Is that the bar where you step into it almost?
Yeah, you had to step into it, and then you got down on both sides, and then it was literally just, squat down, lift with your legs, stand straight up. Yeah. And I remember doing that, and I even got higher than that when I was in college, but no point. Like, and I was thinking about this. Actually, we were shopping this weekend, and just how I have to buy, because I needed new jeans, right?
Yes.
And for the longest time, I had to buy either the relaxed fit or the baggy jeans, because my thighs and my waist were so disproportionate. Okay. Like I had to buy baggy jeans, or else it would look like my thighs were just sausages stuffed into denim, because they were tight, because I had big thighs. I had my mother's thighs, is what I used to say, because I had these thick thighs and big calves and whatnot. And so I'd always bought these super baggy jeans. I haven't lifted weights now. I can't remember the last time I set foot in the weight room with the intent of we're going to throw some iron around today.
Yeah.
Because I'm just old and different. I don't train like that anymore. But how my body has changed with age. And so when I was watching that guy where he's like saying don't do deadlift anymore, I'm like, well, the way I used to train when I was, deadlifts and squats and doing like all that super heavy stuff
Yeah.
with shit form. Just
Yeah.
because like my high school coaches and whatnot, they were interested in could you throw that weight around? Could you
Yes.
move that weight? They weren't checking to make sure that we were even stretching or warming up or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was
That's
just
shitty.
can you do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that screwed me over when I was in my mid 20s and like you had mentioned had a major back injury
Yeah.
because my body just finally went, you're an idiot.
Yeah. We're done.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You're training it wrong. We're done. Yeah. And that's what can happen. So like someone like you, and I'm speaking for you here, so you let me know if I'm wrong. I feel like you got a little bit scarred to all of that after
I
that,
really did.
which I could
really did.
certainly understand. I remember the first time I went to a CrossFit gym and they're like, okay, we're deadlifting today. And this was like 2 months after I literally yanked my back so bad I was out for 2 weeks after lifting a 30-pound box off the ground.
Yeah.
And I was scared to death to pick up this bar.
Oh, definitely.
And so I completely understand that. But once you understand how to do it, and nobody teaches, and I guarantee you, and maybe this is an education for you and some people out there, everybody thinks that weightlifting belt is to add support, and that's not what it's there for. It's there for you to remind you to expand your core. So almost like, I guess the best way I can describe this, and I'm sure there's better people out there that can describe this better, but the way that it's like you're pushing out your entire core. You're pushing it out to hit that belt. And if you're, God, I'm messing up. You know how when we were kids, we used to push our stomachs out to show we were pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can think about that, like bringing all your air down into there and expanding it. And when it hits the belt, that lets you know that you're fully engaged in your core and now it's safe to lift up that bar. No one teaches you that.
That is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah. No one teaches you that.
No
one
not at
sits
all.
there and explains that. And that's the problem.
Right.
And then you have, I think, and that's another problem I think we have with medicine in this part of the world is that we're all about, well, here's a pill. Don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, if it hurts to pick something up off the ground, don't pick it up off the ground. Like that. No, that doesn't work, Doc. Like
that, people ask like if you could go back in time and you're going to teach yourself something. Out of the numerous things I would want to talk to a teenage Greg about, one of the things would be about proper weight training.
Weight.
Because, what that kid was doing was what he was told to do by football coaches, which would be to, go heavy or go home, that you need to just stack up weight as quick as you can to be able to be competitive. And, I played football for 4 years and, I can't even get the Bengals to call me back. So, so the idea of that would be like, you don't have to worry about that. What you want to do is, if you want to lift moderate weight, go medium and do more reps.
Yeah. Are you talking about for you as a youngster?
Yeah. Like for me, like
I was gonna say now, it's like, and I talked to you about this before. I don't see the point in maxing out now unless you want to figure out what your percentages are because you want to get better at it. But
did you? But we were maxing out once a week in high school.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
It was like, hey, it's Friday. We're gonna see what we can do. And it, or it was at least 2 times a month.
Yeah. No, you're right.
We were putting as much weight on the bar as we could do.
Right. And you don't feel it because you're 20. I'm sorry, you're 16, 17. You're living off of Mountain Dew and Cheetos and like nothing's wrong with you.
Just pointless. Yeah. But then that mentality unless someone teaches you otherwise,
Yeah.
follows you. I mean, because even in college, when I was working out, if it was during the school year, I was working out at places where I just wanted to be left alone. Like,
Yeah. I hear you.
let me put a headset on, kind of thing, or listen to music, or and I had my notebook and my workout notebook that I kept my own notes in, and leave me alone. And again, not stretching out pre or post, not doing warm up lifts, just going into the gym and getting after it.
Yeah.
And that was like during the school year. In the summer, if I was working out, it was in my buddy's basement, and we were doing like isometric stuff, super slow movement kind of things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which was fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a different kind of workout.
It's different too, because when we were kids, we wanted to be like Arnold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the goal. Now it's, I think the goal. I don't think anybody trains to be like The Rock. I don't think so.
I did see one guy who's on Reddit or something like that. He's like, I'm going to train like The Rock. I'm going to do The Rock's exact workouts for, I want to say 90 days. He's like, I'm going to eat what he eats. I'm going to train how he trains. And took pictures of himself like every 2 weeks.
How do you do?
At the end of 90 days, you could barely see a difference on this guy. I mean,
I think The Rock is taking I think he's taking performance enhancing drugs.
On. Yeah, of course he is.
He has to be, because no one tests it for Hollywood. Nobody gives a shit.
Or in the WWE. Are you kidding me? They're prescribing them.
That's true. That's true. There's a great podcast with Joe Rogan. I think he had on. There was a time frame he had on like 3 wrestlers in a row. It was like Jake the Snake. It was somebody else that was really close to Macho Man, and I forgot the other guy. And he would say there was one room, you'd walk into this room, and the guy would open up like this huge like luggage case, and he'd open it up, and he'd like, what do you need today? And it was all different types of steroids.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That baffles me, the whole steroid use. Like baseball went to the Supreme Court or to the Senate to argue steroid use. No other sport's doing that. Like football isn't doing that. Definitely wrestling isn't. And Hollywood, I mean, humans aren't supposed to look like that.
No.
I mean, they're just not.
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
So,
yeah. I'm being completely naive because I really like Chris Hemsworth. I just like the guy.
I'm more likely to think he's doing it right.
I'm hoping, Greg, but
because
I've seen some pictures where you're like, Jesus Christ, like either you've filtered the hell out of that arm, or your arm's way bigger than anything else. Like there's like I guess he's got, like we were talking about this the other day. He's gotten so big for Thor, because I think he's transitioning to play Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Yeah.
That his stunt double can't catch up.
Right.
Stunt double's like, dude, I can't. Now to be fair, his stunt double, who we've tried to get on this podcast a couple of times, we've actually had communication with him. I don't think he looks at us as big time. So
yeah.
Anyway, one day, Bobby, one day. Anyway, he was coming off a back surgery, so that's different.
Yeah.
Like, but
again,
that's one of the things I wanted to talk to him about was it's unfair, because then like we shoot in 6 months, you got to get this big in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like,
yeah,
that can't be healthy.
No, it's not. I remember Joseph Gordon-Levitt when he did Don John.
Don John, yeah.
Which he was kind of a workout fiend in that movie for his character.
Yes.
And he put on some muscle.
Size.
I wouldn't call him big by any sense of the word in that film, but fit. And he was on a talk show, and they're like, how did you do that? Because he's not a big guy, like naturally, he's not a big
Right.
guy. They're like, how'd you do that? And he talked about, 4-hour workouts in the weight room with personal trainers, and then I had a personal chef. I mean, he's going through like the Hollywood, what a studio pays for you to work out like that.
Yeah.
And he goes through all of that, and they're like, wow, that's cool. I mean, are you going to keep that? He's like, God, no. It's like,
Yeah.
no one should ever do that. And because then he went on to do a cycling film,
Yes, that's right.
like a bike messenger film, which I can't remember the name of, but I remember liking the movie.
Me too. I remember it too. Yeah.
But he's like that. He's like, I'll get fit for that again, because that was like all. He's like, I was riding a bike all the time. He's like, it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I think people should make the conscious effort. Look, if you're 20, I get it, man. I get it because I've been there. You want to look like Chris Hemsworth. You want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You want to look like The Rock because that's all you're ever going to see. But when you
Right.
get to 30, I would say 35. When you start hitting 35, especially 38, you just want to be able to get out of bed without going, oh,
Yeah.
that's the goal now.
Or-
the goal
or
now is to
without-
be able to do that.
You want to be able to get out of bed, get up on the couch without having to like throw your body weight into it, like doing the rock
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
that's
You want to be, I like to call it, you want to be functionally fit. So all the things you do every day, like you squat every day. A lot of people don't think they squat, but you squat every day. You don't go below parallel all the time, and that's below your knees.
Mhm.
But for the majority of the time, when you go to the bathroom, you're squatting. When you sit down to eat a meal, you're squatting. When you get off, you're engaged. You should be engaged in the same muscles to come up. That's a big difference between our society and like Japan. And the reason I bring up Japan is they don't have a lot of chairs there. Most people are in a full squat when they're preparing their meals, when they don't sit on toilets. They have little holes in the ground. So they take a actual squat, which has been proven scientifically in biology that that's the correct way because it
Yep.
flows out easier.
Get yourself a squatty potty.
Yeah, that's why that's invented is because people that have constipation have a hard time going because they're in an awkward position. It's weird, but it makes sense
Biologically.
it makes sense. Yes, thank you. It makes sense that way. But I would just say like when you're in our age, in my personal opinion, you should probably lift. When I mean heavy, I don't mean your heaviest, but you should at least lift heavy once a week, put some weight on your back and do some squats, deadlifts, and that's it is in terms of heavy stuff. Other than that, my guess you should do maybe CrossFit once or twice a week. And then the rest of it, believe it or not, folks, do yoga. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Flexibility at our age, Greg, and further, that has all the benefits that you want.
I was interested a little bit, like Diamond Dallas Page. Speaking of wrestlers,
Yes.
he's got a yoga program.
Yes, he does.
And I mean, and I realize it's marketing for those success stories, but some of them you're looking at and you're like, son of a bitch, like that looks like legit.
I think that's the guy that Rogan had on that was talking about because didn't Diamond Dallas Page, wasn't he a wrestler?
He was, yeah.
I think it was him that said that you went back in there and there was all this stuff and he realized it, like he's rehabilitated a lot of people through this yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people that have had jacked up backs
Mhm.
and made them like be. I think he made a guy walk again or something like that.
Yeah, that's more or less the story that I saw.
Yeah,
And this guy was, I mean, I think he was a veteran or something like that. Super hurt, using walking sticks to get around, stuff like that. And through the yoga program, was able to, the last shot is him sprinting through a park or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
What really hurts, I mean, it's really tough for guys, okay? Because guys have an ego when it comes to the gym. We all do, whether you like to admit it or not, whether you try your hardest to check it at the door or not. Everybody has an ego. And when you get into a yoga room,
And it's nothing but
guys,
women in yoga pants and
yeah, and sometimes okay, when the gyms were open in our area, we went and did hot yoga. My first experience of hot yoga, I sat behind a guy that farted the whole time because you're in these hard positions.
That's yoga in general, from what I understand.
All right. That's uncomfortable, right? Because it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're in these uncomfortable positions that you have to hold, and you're a bucket of sweat.
Yeah.
You feel like an idiot. You actually feel like, how do I put this? Like a bull in a china shop.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like everybody's looking and they're laughing at the big dude that can't like touch his toes, or the big dude that can't balance on one leg. My advice to you people is, especially those of you that are 40 and over, tough it out. If you guys are looking for a challenge, if you guys are looking for those 30-day challenges that everybody seems to be on, some people do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups for 30 days straight. Do yoga 30 days straight. I guarantee you're going to walk out of that 30 days and go, holy shit, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get my dad on it because my dad has some foot problems. He has some leg problems, which makes him have knee problems, which makes him have lower hip problems. And I'm not hip problems, lower back problems. And I'm telling him, Dad, just go to yoga. Start really going into that. Because his body's beat up from all the pro football shit he did when he was in his 20s. And he was a gym rat, man. He was like The Rock. He was like, 500, benching 500, deadlifting 6 or whatever he said he did. I don't know. But anyway, so I think we'll cut it there, Greg. Now we're starting to become gym gurus.
I would never make that claim.
Yeah, neither would I actually. But anyway, for those of you out there, I think like I said, we'll cut it short. So, Greg, any last words?
Not today. We're good. I need a new catch line.
Yeah. I don't have a catch line either. No. I'm not that clever.
Have a good rest of your week, everybody.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your week. Take care, everybody. Johnny and the Greg podcast out.